All right. Good morning. Good morning. I'm in the cat sitting gig, and I took advantage of the little cafe making station back there, and I have myself a double espresso. It's perfect. So get yourself a cup of something. Clean out the morning phlegm. Hey, I have it. And let's talk about Disclosure Day 6. So welcome everybody. I'm Kat Woodland's my pen name. I've been making videos for a while, and I've moved from becoming, going through the grief process of being a child in a pathologically dysfunctional family by way of a narcissistic mother who really did a number on her children. In fact, she did get a master's degree in guidance and counseling, was very proud of the fact that she had a master's degree, and yet couldn't get employed. And little did she know it was her personality. And little did I know until I healed that it was her who was the thing she said I was. On a day when I was a young girl, having traveled through the woods to Pine Hill Road, talked to an old man with his dog in his front yard, as I walked to my friend Bonnie's house, where I had a wonderful time playing and enjoyed the company also of her mother, who said nice things to me. And then off I went home feeling very, very proud or full of life, happy. I had walked through the woods, I'd gone through the field, I'd met a dog and his owner. I had then gone to my friend's house and had a positive exchange with her mother. And what happens is I go home and my mother is like, well, you know, Kathleen, you're not very friendly. And I would have to stay silent because in the past, if I spoke up, she would hit me across the face. So whatever she was going to tell you about you, you had to take. So she liked ridiculing me verbally a lot when nobody else was around. So we all had the same mother, my siblings and I, but we all had a different childhood, right? So in Disclosure Day 6, the movie in itself, it discloses that aliens exist, but there's only one type. And oh, by the way, we've tortured them. And it doesn't talk about the Greys or the droids or the cyborgs who have tormented abductees who had then had to go through PTSD, trauma, survival stuff. Right. Well, that's what people are going to have happen when they get to find out what's happening really on this planet. Okay, when you really know that your entire civilization of humanity, it doesn't matter the color. You have specialities, like an orchid flower is special from a daisy, is a special from a chrysanthemum, is special from a foxglove, which is special from Monardinema, bee balm, hibiscus. They're all different. They're all special. They all have different properties. We all do too. Dogs, there's Dachshunds, there's bulldogs, there's greyhounds. There's all kinds of things, right? How come people don't have to be the same? And how do they get to have those puppies? That's because there's a male and a female, all right? So let's stop the foolery, disclosure, that the Baphomet evil fuck that is running this place wants droids, wants hermaphrodites. They're sick. They want to degrade people with porn and degeneracy and the hookup culture. They want to make women look like the Kardashians and look like overstuffed Cupid dolls for sexual pleasure only. They want that. They want to degrade what you are, which is creator, which is God's spark, goddess spark. Or shall I say, you are from the very same source material, your spirit stuffed in this beautiful vessel, which you're evolving. You're evolving it while you're in it. Or it'd be wise to connect to the earth, at least with your energy and your mind, your hara line, to the source field. So you are part of this. You're not supposed to sit idly by while somebody in a spaceship comes rescue you because they whispered something in your ear. And now you're supposed to listen. That's the whole message of the movie. It's like, oh man, of course the government tortured the aliens. Of course they take technology and use it against people because the government's run by the aliens that came here a long time ago by way of the archons, by way of others. There's more than one group. There's more than one type of human expression. Wouldn't you say there's more than one type of alien? So wouldn't the aliens that really wanted to dupe you, wouldn't they be the ones behind Disclosure Day, the movie? Wouldn't they? Wouldn't they be like, yeah, we're really the good ones and you've tortured us. So when you see us next, you just gotta be like, lay down on the ground and show us your jugular vein. That's what that movie is suggesting. So I have more to say. So I'm doing this guidebook for recovery, which is because when you discover you're a child of a narcissist, and that's what's been happening to you, and that's why you were programmed and you were brainwashed to accept abuse as love, then you grieve. It's like a death of an ego and a fantasy as well. And it's a good one. It has to happen, but it hurts while it's happening. So I think that's what's going to happen with people when they discover that, yes, there is a God, there is a creator, there's a one that's lying to you, and there's one that's within you. You have to figure it out, motherfucker. And cocksucker. You have to figure it out. There's a God that's lying to you, and there's one that's within you. There's the source field reality. There's the love, bliss, and joy of which you are. Because in truth and in reality, and in my experience, and because it's in my experience, it's knowledge. It's wisdom. It's gained through experience. It's wisdom. Knowledge you can read in a book. Knowledge you can learn from me. But wisdom is gained through experience. I'm a wise woman and a hot chick for my chronological time and space, wouldn't you say? So anyway, I am very sensuous. I'm a very sensuous woman, and I will be painting again because I would like to paint my expression of this beautiful reality now that I truly feel very at home with being at home on the planet. You get pissed off when you find out what she did. So there's that. It's just like finding out your parents are imperfect. So yes, I thought the Mother Earth was a goddess and Mother Earth couldn't do anything wrong. And then you find out the bitch went and acted on her own. And what do we have to thank her for that? Those aborted fetuses with the big fat heads that are cruel because they hate us. The archons. They were the mistakes. And they're mad as hell. It's so laughable. And so the thing is like the big disclosure is that yes, there is a astral realm, and because you're humans and you're in a dense reality, because you're in the densest form there is, you appear as dense because you can't see the astral realm unless you have abilities or really messed up on drugs of certain types. I'm not a user, but Jerry Marzinsky is the person to look for, and he was employed and has the knowledge of this. Jerry Marzinsky, Jerry Marzinsky. Figure it out. Excuse me. He even did an interview with Owen Benjamin, which is on BitChute, or you can go to Owen Benjamin Comedy, who is a hilarious man. You don't have to love everything about a person to appreciate what it is they have to offer, okay? You know, I go to the grocery store, I don't buy everything in it, right? But I appreciate the grocery store. So I appreciate the man for his comedy and his actions to keep people from going insane during 2020, 2021. I found him looking for the people who thought like I did, which was like no, and I needed to find those people, and I found them. I thought everybody was crazy. I didn't realize the majority of people were nuts, and that's why, you know, those of us who know we're here for more than just being in society, think y'all are crazy. Like, you guys are nuts for just believing in the cockamamie that is purportedly SCIENCE. It's like a belief system, those words. Ooh. So people must learn critical thinking, and so that's not in public schools anymore. This is all by grand design. You know, critical thinking skills are critical to keep you from making bad decisions in your reality. So when you wake up to your reality, what's going to happen? Are people going to stop going to their jobs? No, you still have contributions. But there really should be a way that we examine corporations and their rights, as well as profits over people, because the stockholders and the whole system has been set up so that you have to actually invest in your own slavery. Because at one time, you could put money into the bank and it would hold interest. And now the interest is in stocks and bonds. Literally, figuratively, okay? The interest is no longer in you, the person who saves. It's in the person who invests in somebody else's bondage, okay? We're in a slave system. So investing and all of that stuff, I'm not saying not do that. I'm saying let's just do it with a lot more conscientiousness and a social awareness. Now people, you know, too lazy for that because we're in also a hedonistic society. People are going to get theirs. I get it. They've been denied. They're going to get theirs now. You know, I get it. I get it. But why don't you look around a little bit and do what you can to help your community, because that's what really it's all about as well. If that were going to be a disclosure, I would say it's capable for you to create your very own heaven on earth. You are capable of that, and you can do that with your peeps. And it starts from within. Okay, and here's the other disclosure day. Okay, so there's going to be an event or something. You know, everyone talks about the Flash. So the people who do, that would be another disclosure, okay? That there's going to be a big event that may create a mass awakening. So that's the part I said in my last disclosure, day 5, which is if people start having awakenings and they get their kundalini going, what are we going to do? Because it is really intense. And I've had all of that. I've had a heightened spiritual experience, and I made some very massive life-changing decisions that were life-changing and irreversible. No, I don't have a tattoo. So hang on, everybody. The ride's not over. It's really important to just find ways to stay centered. So there's a cat outside, curled up just like one would in the jungle, in their Serengeti in Africa. I'll never go. I think about Africa. I think about the dark continent. I think about death. I don't think about fun and safaris and a good time. No, no. Was I there in another lifetime? Probs. Because I'm like, no, I'm not going. No, no. It's and I know it's a huge continent, but that's how I feel. Just hearing the word for the entire huge continent. I want nothing to do with it. Not even Morocco. I want nothing to do with Africa. I don't know why. I never wanted anything to do with Africa. And The English Patient, the movie, boy, was that boring. That was a series of bad decisions by that woman. She got shit canned by both men. The guy abandoned her. The guy she left her perfectly wonderful husband for a good fuck in the bathtub, shit canned her and left her in a cave, and she died of exposure and lack of water or something, you know? You're stuck in a shady spot in the desert and still it's hot. How long are you gonna last? He was gone for what? I don't know. Long enough. The movie, The English Patient, it was cinematography. I would watch that without the sound and with like Amadeus Mozart playing in the back. That's what it was. It was one big torturous movie. The English Patient, anybody watch it? At the time, I was married to my second husband, who was the grandiose narcissist. And I enjoyed him, except my body could not hold up to him either. I had problems I could not take. He constipated me. He controlled everything. He was nuts. He wouldn't let me get ratcheted loppers so I could more easily prune these hedges that are the type that you cut one, it springs two. He wanted me to use these dull ones. He ruled over what I bought, even with my own money. And we went to this seminar, the Millionaire Mind. Okay, I've got wisdom from knowledge, from the experience of going to Harv Eker and the Millionaire Mind seminar. You guys hear of it? Well, I won't go into it right now because it's pressing on 20 minutes and I want to stick to the point of Disclosure Day 6. But in short, my guy and I went, and he wanted me to do all the principles of this thing so that we could be a millionaire couple together. And he's a multimillionaire. But anyway, and it was done to the point of his satisfaction. And then he would not allow me to do what was the biggie, which is both individuals in a couple have the right to spend a certain amount of fun money if they have it. And that should not be disproportionate, so that one can go and have a lavish vacation for $1,000, while the other one can go to the Holiday Inn the next town over to use the pool for a day, okay? That's what it was like with him. I was like, dude, it has to be equal. And he didn't see the point. And then we went to the seminar, and I saw the little patch of grass, and I go, oh look, they're gonna have us walk over coals by the end. And they did. But did he listen when they were like, yeah, man, you and your wife, you can't be telling her what to do with her money. She's allowed to have her own fun money too. And he could not let that happen. So he couldn't let me get loppers, which would have been my fun money, so I would have fun pruning. So I could go, rather than, These are the type of control freaks I've experienced, men who don't believe me when I say I've been with narcissist crazies. They're crazy makers. And then he wanted to call me a quitter for saying, look, I'm not going to mangle these trees. They're screaming at me. They're going, ow, oh, I'm going with these dull, non-ratcheted loppers that he made me use. And I finally took my foot and I stomped. And I said, this is ridiculous. I refuse. And that's what he goes, you're a quitter. You're a quitter, Kathleen. You're a quitter. And he's poking my chest. And then I turned around and I said, well, I ran towards the bedroom and I turned around and I said, you are to stay out. I am hot. I am heated. I am frustrated. I am angry. I need my own space. And he looked at me like, oh yeah, it was the narcissist grin. This was before I knew what they were. So guys, I'm experienced with this. I know what this is. So I closed the door and I locked it. And it was the kind that you can get in from the other side by putting a little, like a paper clip in the little pinhole or whatever. So I'm like trying to cool down. He comes in, forces confrontation, and I hit him in the arm 3 times. And he stops and he goes, that's great, domestic abuse. I'm writing this one down. And off he goes into his little lair, his dragon's lair. He's the reptilian with, he was the reptile with his backbone actually stuck out like a elephant would. And he was a flatsy and he had toe fungus. And he had sexual hang-ups I had no idea about. He became addicted to porn on the screen. And then he became impotent. It was weird. So guys, I'm experienced. That's why I say stop watching porn. I know what happens. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I experienced it. They go crazy. They can no longer just love you. They have to sexualize and demean you. They can't meet you as a woman. These guys are sick in the head. They don't know how to go to the heart, ever. And this heart, this area, the heart, this is where anything that can't operate at the heart level and above dies off. That's Disclosure Day 6, everybody. Isn't that a good one? So you better start learning to operate from your heart and realize that that's where God is. And what did Jesus say? So, we're not going to lose our religion. We're going to regain the true one, the one that Christ was trying to tell us about. The kingdom is within.